Okay, if you're like me and you find yourself looking for a great single-stage video tripod like the SACHTLER Flowtech, but you don't have thousands of dollars to get one, you're going to be pretty interested in hearing about this right here. This is a Sirui SVS75 tripod. Now this is a whole system, it's a single-stage tripod that, man, it's not a SACHTLER Flowtech, but in my opinion, it gives it a great run for the money at 1/4 of the price. Let's go and look at what this thing brings to the game. Now, I know that due to a lot of the more cinematic work and rigs that I've been working on lately, I have definitely been in the market to upgrade my tripod recently. But as most of you probably figure out when it's time to upgrade your tripod, it can be a bit of a shock just because of how astoundingly expensive the next tier gets. And really what I'm talking about is a single-stage video tripod like the SACHTLER Flowtech. I think that is the bar that we all set aside. It's definitely the dream one that we want. They are absolutely fantastic, but they are also several $1,000s. But luckily, that's where this new Sirui SVS75 tripod sister comes in the picture. Now, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the name right. I think I am. I think it's Sirui or Sirui or Sirui, but funny name, serious tripod. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Now on the surface, if you look at this seems to have a lot of the similar functions that you would get on the much more SACHTLER, but it comes in at a fraction of the cost. This is an $850 system that includes the head and the sticks versus the $3,200+ for the SACHTLER. So my question is, can you buy this product, get a great tripod, and then take that money that you would have spent just on the tripod and spread it in some other areas that your business and video size might need? Now, one thing that really does separate this SVS75 is the fact that it is a one-step height adjustment tripod that's based on a twist lock sensibility. That means there's only one place that you open and close it, and it's right here on these little twist locks that are right here. And what this means is that you can change the height with a single hand on this thing and not have to worry about bending over and clicking knobs at various stages on your tripod. Now, the thing about a single stage tripod, and the reason why you want one, is it gives you two huge advantages. The first one is going to be speed. It is extremely fast and intuitive to change and adjust heights. And two, I personally believe that having something like this adds a ton of safety to your gear because it's so much more controlled when you change height. The other thing with this SVS75 that's really important is to know that it does come paired, as I said, with this incredibly professional grade SV15 video head. Now this head by itself is worthy of its own review, so be prepared. In this video, I am going to review both the legs and the head because they are definitely both worth talking about. So as you can see, I have this thing here in kind of a closed position, but if I just twist this open and unlock it, you'll see all from one height level. Look at this. I can bring it down, or if I want to, I can bring it all the way up. Lock it into place very fast. Notice I'm just doing this with one hand, and boom, I am good to go. If I want to basically have a split in the middle, well, check this out. I can just go ahead, load a little bit, get it right exactly the height I want. Now I can come up, lock it in very fast, and I'm good to go. Much easier, much preferred way of working and shooting than going down and bending down and getting little legs and down and stuff like that. Now, one thing you definitely need to be aware of about this is that this is a heavy-duty carbon fiber and aluminum alloy tripod. So this thing comes in, it weighs about 9 pounds. Now, I personally think this weight is great because it's super sturdy, but be aware this is not going to be a light travel tripod. But for me, when I'm on a set, this is exactly what I want from a tripod. Now, because this is a heavy-duty tripod, this thing can take some serious load on it. It can handle a load of 55.1 pounds or 25 kilograms if you're in a non-imperial system. Most of us that are out there dealing in independent and small cinema and commercial rigs, this is going to be more than enough tripod to handle that weight, which is good because I feel like a lot of the other tripods I've used in the past are always maxing out. I never felt even close to coming that when I was dealing with this SVS75. Now the tripod does come with this handle here, and this is useful not only for transporting the tripod, but it also provides a great contact point when you're adjusting the level. So I can just kind of hold on to this right here, and it lets me just kind of sink that in or bring that up, depending on, I really like having that there. Now the tripod also comes with large rubber feet on the bottom, which provide a really good base. And I like the fact that they pretty much instinctively go down flat, so that's good if you're indoors, but you can pop them off. If you want spikes, you can pop them off and have a spike. Now the tripod also, in addition to coming with a head, does come with two telescoping arms. They kind of pop out, give you a good level right there to play with. That come with this. So if you wanted a more broadcast type feel, you could easily hook that up there. Kind of a nice bonus. I tend to be more of a one arm kind of guy, but it's nice to know that it comes with that. Now there's also a really cool feature that comes with this because these legs are rigid, but you want to have that good stability when you have a cinema type tripod like this. And what's really nice is that this comes with a mid-level spreader that really provides a lot of extra stability. And what I like about this mid-level spreader is that it actually comes with a quick release, so you can throw it on and off, which is really helpful for getting your sticks low. And as you can see, I can literally just come here, and it's literally this much time to pop it off. I'm just gonna pop it off right there, and boom. Now my spreader is out. I can move it and change it as I was. I want to put it back on. It just goes back on very, very fast. And it's pretty simple. I mean, you can see there's just this little lever in there. You put it in there, slip it in the hole, and you are in good shape, ready to roll. But if I'm going to be talking about this, it's going to bring me to the height of the tripod. Now, this thing has a really, really good flexible range for height. Now, when it breaks down to 21.1 inches. So it's very small, very, very easy to transport in the small car. I have a Honda Civic. I have no problem transporting this in the trunk. But when this thing fully extends, it extends to over 5 feet, 61.2 inches. So you can see, I'm gonna go ahead and open this up here all the way, just so you can see. And you can see just how tall this thing goes. I mean, when I have a head on here and a camera, I have to get on an Apple box to see. What's great is that means if I'm dealing with a taller actor, I can work with it, and I can easily work with whatever I need. I really love this for getting top-down shots. This is a perfect height that I find really, really practical when I shoot. But it's getting low where I really like to have my versatility in the tripod. So as you see, I can break it down, and like I said, it goes down to that short form, but this leg, if you look right here, actually has semi-automatic knobs. And that means the legs can go at a 21-degree angle, which you have here, a 50-degree angle, or a 78-degree angle. So if you pop off that center spreader, you can get these sticks all the way down to 8.1 inches off the ground. Now that I'm down, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this out. I'm just gonna click this out, click it into that 78-degree angle, and I'm gonna show you just how low this thing can go. Let's pop this off real quick. And we're gonna pop that on, and boom. You can now see how unbelievably low I can get to the ground with this. What's nice about this is essentially almost like having a hi-hat on demand if you need it to go. And then if you want to go to another height, well look, you can just pop it right back up, and boom, it clicks right into space. I'll come back to my 21-degree angle here, and boom, now I'm ready to go and have another height level to go. Now, as I said, the SVS75 is a 75mm ball head, but what I really like about it is that this is a ball head that comes with a quick release ball head handle. And if you've ever had to deal with unscrewing a ball head, you will know it takes forever to get under. What's great about this, you unscrew it just a couple times, and boom, you push that button, and then it just pops right off, and then boom, you're pretty much ready to roll. You can put the ball head back in there if you want to, slip it right back in there, you can push a button, slip it right in, and that is exactly how fast it takes to get the ball head on and off. This is it's so nice, especially for someone like me that's often popping heads off on Dana dollies and different things like that. And man, you're not spinning there doing that eternal. It feels like it takes forever to screw up a ball head. This quick release is a really, really nice thing. Now, all that leads me up here to the SVH15 Head, because like I said, this comes as part of the kit that comes with these legs. And the nice thing is that this kit with this head, like I said, it's $850 for everything on there. And in my opinion, man, the head by itself is almost worth that much, just because of how professional beefy this thing is. Now, the first thing you want to know about this thing is, and it's the first thing we all want to know about a head, is actually going to be the action. How does this thing move and feel? And this is one area where this head, man, it is really, really nice. It is just so buttery smooth and precise. You feel like you can really get in there, lock your movements, get in there, and just don't have to worry about that jiggle and that sort of jerkiness you sometimes see with lower end heads. And it's beefy too. I mean, this thing can take up to 33 pounds on the system, which will cover you on most basic cinema systems. Now, I want to maybe do an Alexa 65 with everything on there, but to be honest, Alexa Minis, Red Komodos, Red Raptors, any kind of cinema system you have on there, this is easily going to handle that and it's going to handle it well. It's not putting it right at the edge of the system because it's designed to handle so much weight. The other thing about this that for me was a 100% game changer is the fact that it has this drop-in plate. And it actually uses a Manfrotto 501PL drop-in plate. Now this is great for me because all of my plates on my system are Manfrotto PL, so 501PL, so I love it. And if you're someone that has a Ronin or a gimbal like that, well guess what? It uses the same plate. So you can literally pop this plate off of your Ronin, come over, and just drop it right in, and it drops in that fast. And I do want to talk about why I love drop-in plates. And the reason why is when you're dealing with rigs that have the traditional slide-in from the back, that becomes completely impractical once you start adding rails, handles, follow focuses on your camera systems, because those things tend to be lower than the front of your camera. So if you want to slide a camera in the back, you can't do it because there's so much stuff you have to take it. What you want is a drop-in system. And what's nice here, you can see right here, I can take it, do in there, boom, it drops right in. It's got a lock, so it's not going to go out there. And then I can just come over to the other side once I drop it in, lock it in, and it's on there rock solid. Drop-in plate, absolutely professional feature that any of you thinking to get a real professional tripod need to have. Now this head also has one other really nice feature in the fact that while it is a 75mm bowl head, the bowl on the bottom can be popped off and you can convert this into a flat bottom head. This is really, really useful for popping it up and putting on a slider or any other rig. And we want to go back to a ball head, you can just pop it right back on there and get a really, really nice feature. I love having that on there. Now, if you look at the back of the head, it does have 7 levels of counterbalance. So what this means is you can comfortably operate everything from a small mirrorless camera all the way up to a full-size cinema rig. And this is going to allow you to dial in exactly what you need to get that counterbalance. I found this very, very useful. Really worked great on my Red Komodo when I had it kitted out. Just let me dial in and get this thing to be precise and smooth. And the reason why you're able to get so smooth is this thing has fully NF blocking hydraulic dampening inside the tripod head. And that's what gives you those really smooth moves and really helps you avoid those jerky bumping components you often see in cheaper heads. And it's also got really, really simple and intuitive, incremental, intuitive pan. You can see them to kind of click here, give you little incremental things that let you dial in your movement. And the tilt head, it actually goes from a -70 all the way up to a full 90-degree tilt. So you have a huge range of motion there in the tilt. A lot of cheaper tripod heads, you actually can't get that perfect 90-degree down. This will let you do that. Definitely something you want to have. So as you can see, this system packs a tremendous amount of stuff in the middle of it. And on top of it, if you're someone who loves having cases, this thing does come with a nice package case that you can basically fold up and transport the entire tripod and the head in that case. So as you can see, there is so much involved in this system that I feel like you really got to talk about value when you're looking at this, because the value you get from the system, I personally think can lead you to get a system like this and actually invest in additional places you hadn't been thinking of. Because I was someone who's used a lot of tripods in the past and who was actually personally saving his money to buy a SACHTLER Flowtech. I was blown away at the value and the performance I was able to get from this system. I didn't expect it to work as well as it did. And the Flowtech is almost 4 times as much as this SVS75. And this provides a lot of the similar attributes that I was wanting. Now, obviously the Flowtech is going to be the superior product, but I feel that what the SVS75 is, it's providing me a really good option to get almost all the things I wanted from a Flowtech anyway, but it helped me save the money that I can maybe spend in other places and continue to grow my business and still have a great professional option. Now, as much as I did enjoy this product, no product is perfect. And whenever I do a video or any kind of review, I always like to point out what I consider room for improvement, just so you're aware of exactly what this thing could and couldn't be for you, and if it makes sense for you to get. Now, as far as I'm concerned, there are really 2 main areas that I think you should be aware of when considering buying this system. The first is, it's a great single-stage system, but it is based on a twist lock system. And I know that there are a lot of people that prefer snap locks on their sticks over twist locks. I think a lot of that just comes to where your background is. So you need to be aware of that this is a twist lock system. Now, I personally, as someone that doesn't use twist locks, really found this very, very intuitive and very, very easy. The markings are very clear, and once I did it a couple times, it just became actually second nature to use it. So it wasn't that big a deal for me, but I do think I have met some shooters that absolutely are one way or another on twists versus flip locks. So just be aware of that if you have a real issue with that. The other area that I personally feel is the biggest room of improvement for this entire system is actually here on the head. And I'm being a little picky on this, but this is a small thing that actually makes a big difference for me on a set. Having a head this beefy, able to handle this much weight, means I'm going to be using this on professional sets. There's no doubt about it. And I just feel like they missed the boat here a little bit by not having an illuminated dial here on the balance bubble. I know that seems like a small thing, but I know when you're on professional sets, they're dark and you're always reshuffling and rebalancing your tripod and getting your head level. And it's nice to have that illuminated in the dark, something you'll use several times a day. So there you go. That is the Sirui SVS75 tripod system. And you know, my final conclusion on this is something that I 100% would be very comfortable taking this on set professionally. This has now become my #1 professional tripod since I got it, and gives me incredible, incredible performance at 1/4 the cost of a SACHTLER Flowtech. And man, I just really think if you're looking for a good, valuable tripod that gives you a lot of really nice professional results, this could be the one that takes you home. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you have to say with this. Leave me any notes and comments down below. And yeah, I'd rather keep on shooting. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon.